陛下よりお許しをいただいて、こうして婚約内定の発表を行うことができましたことを大変嬉しく思っております。
In a fairy tale-like twist of fate, Japan's beloved Princess Nori cast aside her royal title 18 years ago in pursuit of love. Her transformation from imperial royalty to an ordinary citizen caught the world by surprise, yet it was her recent appearance that has left admirers breathless. A lifetime of humble living, dedicated to nature conservation, has transformed the once regal princess into a vision of serene beauty, radiating an inner peace that transcends her royal past. So join us as we explore the life of a beautiful Japanese princess and know why she gave up her title 18 years ago. It only takes a brave and genuine mind to make a shocking decision just like the princess. This shows that these royals seek peace and tranquility just like every other human. Just keep watching, because you're about to be thrilled by the shocking decision made by the Japanese princess. Unexpected decision. Nori came to the profound understanding that love holds the utmost significance in life, leading her to the resolution that she would marry solely for love and only when she felt ready. This realization was not merely a fleeting thought. It was a deep-seated conviction that shaped her views on relationships and her future. Nori, a princess by birth, was raised in an opulent palace that was a world unto itself, filled with luxury and grandeur. The palace was staffed with numerous servants, each tasked with fulfilling the needs and desires of the royal family. This was customary for royal offspring, who were expected to maintain a certain image and lifestyle, one that often distanced them from the realities of everyday life. In this sheltered environment, Nori found herself unable to engage in even the simplest household tasks. The act of pouring herself a cup of tea was a luxury she could not afford, as that duty was reserved for the attentive staff who catered to her every whim. Her experience of daily life was limited and curated. She had never stepped foot in a grocery store, her meals always prepared by skilled chefs, and she traversed the sprawling city only in the comfort of a luxurious car, driven by a personal chauffeur. This insulated upbringing left her with a sense of detachment from the world outside the palace walls, where the hustle and bustle of ordinary life unfolded without her. In spite of this sheltered existence, Princess Nori devoted her formative years to her education, recognizing the importance of knowledge and personal growth. Her academic journey culminated in her graduation from the prestigious Department of Japanese Language and Literature at Gokushin University in 1992, where she earned a Bachelor of Letters degree. This achievement marked a significant milestone in her life, as it not only equipped her with a deep understanding of her culture and language, but also opened her eyes to the broader world beyond her royal confines. In 1998, Nori took a significant step in her professional life when she was appointed as a research associate at the Yamashina Institute for Ornithology. This role allowed her to immerse herself in the study of birds, a passion that had blossomed during her university years. Later that same year, she transitioned into a researcher position at the institute, where she could further explore her interests and contribute to the field of ornithology. It was during her time at university that she met her future spouse, Yoshike Kuroda. Their relationship began as a friendship, blossoming over the years as they shared experiences, ideas, and dreams. In 2004, the announcement of Princess Nori's engagement marked a significant moment in the Japanese imperial family. At the time, Princess Nori was 35 years old, a mature age for a royal, while her fiancé, Yoshiki Kuroda, was 39. Kuroda, who worked as an urban designer for the Tokyo metropolitan government, was an ordinary man without any aristocratic lineage or substantial wealth. His life was typical of many Japanese citizens, characterized by a modest salary earned in a conventional office environment. Despite these seemingly unremarkable circumstances, Princess Nori found herself deeply in love with Kuroda, a sentiment that transcended the barriers of class and status. The palace, while supportive of the couple's union, imposed a significant condition. Should Princess Nori choose to marry a commoner, she would have to leave the palace and relinquish her royal title and the privileges that came with it. This stipulation was a reflection of the traditional expectations placed upon members of the imperial family, who were often expected to marry within the aristocracy. However, for Princess Nori, the prospect of leaving her royal life behind was not a daunting sacrifice. Life within the palace had often felt constricting, akin to living in a gilded cage, where her every move was scrutinized and her personal desires were secondary to royal duties. Embracing her love for Kuroda, Princess Nori made the courageous decision to prioritize her happiness over her royal status. The couple's wedding took place in 2005 at the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo, a venue that, while prestigious, allowed for a celebration that was relatively simple by royal standards. The ceremony was attended by the Emperor, Empress, and other members of the imperial family, reflecting the importance of the occasion. In total, around 30 attendees were present for the intimate ceremony, with an additional 120 guests joining the celebration. This enthusiastic reception underscored the significance of their union, not only as a personal love story but also as a moment of cultural resonance, symbolizing a shift in the traditional expectations of the imperial family and the evolving nature of love and marriage in contemporary Japan. But how did she survive? Life as a non-royal. After her departure from the imperial family, Princess Nori made a significant life change by adopting the surname of her husband, Yoshiki Kuroda. This decision marked a historic moment, as she became the first commoner without any aristocratic lineage to marry an imperial princess in Japan. Her marriage is particularly noteworthy within the context of Japan's modern history, as Nori is recognized as the sixth female member of the Japanese imperial family to enter into marriage with a communist since the enactment of the Imperial Household Law in 1947. This law was established to regulate the imperial family and its members, and Nori's choice reflects a broader shift in societal norms and values regarding marriage and class distinctions. In a move that underscores her commitment to her new life, Kuroda chose to resign from her esteemed position as an ornithologist, a role that likely brought her both professional fulfillment and recognition. Instead, she decided to dedicate herself fully to her family, embracing the traditional roles often associated with marriage and motherhood. This decision, while personal, also highlights the sacrifices she made in leaving behind her career and the privileges that came with her status as a member of the imperial family. Although she relinquished considerable wealth, including a lavish palace, a personal vehicle, and a dedicated household staff, Kuroda expressed no regrets about her choices. For her, the sacrifices were outweighed by the profound gain of something far more significant, which is true love. This sentiment resonates deeply, as it reflects a universal desire for genuine connection and companionship, transcending social status and material wealth. Despite her departure from the imperial family and the loss of her royal privileges, it has been reported that Kuroda received a wedding gift from the government valued at approximately $1.2 million. While this sum may seem substantial at first glance, it is essential to consider the context of Japan's high cost of living, particularly in urban areas like Tokyo. In this light, the amount is relatively modest, and the couple faced challenges in securing a suitable home. Ultimately, they found themselves unable to purchase property and opted to rent a small apartment instead, a decision that reflects the realities many couples face in contemporary Japan, where housing affordability is a pressing issue. Princess Nori's journey from the imperial family to a life of love and commitment with Yoshiki Kuroda is a compelling narrative of personal sacrifice, societal change, and the pursuit of happiness. In preparation for her transition to a new lifestyle, Princess Sayako reportedly undertook driving lessons and engaged in supermarket shopping practice. This marked a significant shift for her, as the former princess had lived a life of privilege and luxury, where many everyday tasks were managed by a dedicated staff. The reality of her new life became apparent when she found herself unfamiliar with many basic tasks that most people take for granted. For instance, she was surprised to learn that one must take a shopping cart in a supermarket, a simple yet essential aspect of grocery shopping that had eluded her in her previous life. As she embraced her new independence, Sayako recognized the need to acquire a variety of skills in household management. This included learning how to clean her living space, cook meals, and wash dishes, tasks that had previously been handled by servants in the imperial household. The absence of this support system posed a considerable challenge for her, as she had been accustomed to a life governed by strict palace etiquette and surrounded by opulent luxury. The transition required her to adapt to a more self-sufficient lifestyle, which was both daunting and enlightening. Navigating the current moment. During particularly difficult moments of adjustment, Sayako found solace in a parable shared by her mother. In this story, a snail lamented its heavy burden, feeling overwhelmed by the weight it carried. However, the snail soon realized that all other snails also bore their own substantial loads, each struggling in their own way. This realization resonated deeply with Sayako, reminding her that she was not alone in her challenges and that everyone faces their own difficulties, regardless of their background. Ultimately, the former princess demonstrated remarkable resilience and adaptability. Over time, she became more comfortable with her new circumstances, learning to navigate the complexities of daily life outside the palace walls. After some time, the couple took a significant step in their journey together by relocating to their own modest home, symbolizing a new chapter filled with personal growth and the embrace of a simpler yet fulfilling lifestyle. This transition not only marked a departure from her royal past, but also heralded the beginning of a life defined by love, partnership, and the joys of everyday living. Sayako and her family chose to establish their home in close proximity to the royal palace, a decision that not only provided them with a sense of security, but also allowed for frequent and meaningful communication with their relatives. This closeness to the heart of the imperial family has been a source of comfort and connection for Sayako, especially as she navigated the complexities of her new life after marriage. 18 years have passed since Sayako's wedding, a period during which her husband Kuroda has made numerous appearances at various formal events, often accompanied by other members of the imperial family. These public engagements have allowed them to maintain their ties to the royal traditions and responsibilities, even as they carve out their own unique path. In 2012, Nori was honored with the prestigious title of High Priestess of the Ice Grand Shrine, a role that placed her under the guidance of her aunt, Atsuka Ikeda, who served as the chief priestess. This position not only deepened her connection to her family's spiritual legacy, but also allowed her to contribute to the cultural and religious practices that are integral to their heritage. 5 years later, in 2017, Kuroda officially succeeded her aunt as the Supreme Priestess of the Ice Shrine, a role that carries significant responsibilities and honors within their community. Not mind the absence of children in their marriage, Sayako and her husband share a profound and enduring love for one another. Their bond is characterized by mutual respect and affection, which has only grown stronger over the years. Sayako finds immense joy in her role as an aunt, cherishing the time spent with her nephews and the special moments they share. These relationships bring her a sense of fulfillment and happiness that transcends the traditional expectations of royal life. As of now, Sayako Kuroda is 53 years old, while her husband is 57. Throughout her journey, the former princess has expressed a deep sense of contentment with her new lifestyle. She recognizes that the simplicity of life shared with a beloved partner is far more valuable than the allure of material wealth or the prestige of imperial titles. Sayako's perspective reflects a profound understanding of what truly matters in life, which is love, connection, and the joy of shared experiences. In embracing this philosophy, she has found peace and happiness in her chosen path, one that honors her past while allowing her to thrive in the present. While effortlessly thriving through this moment, one is moved to wonder what gave her so much confidence to hold on to love instead of love. Are you ready to know? How it started. The Japanese people maintain a profound respect for their millennia-old traditions, which are deeply woven into the fabric of their national identity. Central to this cultural heritage is the imperial family, a symbol of continuity and stability that has persisted through centuries of change. In spite of this enduring presence, it is important to note that the emperor has not wielded political power for an extended period. In contemporary Japan, the role of the emperor is largely ceremonial, and he does not engage in the governance of the nation. The emperor, along with his family, enjoys a life of luxury that is funded by the state budget. This financial support allows them to partake in a variety of official ceremonies, both domestically and internationally. The emperor often travels abroad, representing the imperial household and fostering diplomatic relations with other nations. His presence at these events is not only a matter of tradition, but also serves to reinforce Japan's cultural heritage on the global stage. Traditionally, there has been an expectation that the emperor's children will select their spouses exclusively from the aristocracy, a practice that underscores the historical significance of lineage and social status within the imperial family. However, this expectation has proven increasingly challenging in recent years due to the limited pool of eligible candidates within the aristocracy. As a result, the royal family has often found itself deviating from these long-standing customs, reflecting the changing social dynamics of modern Japan. A notable example of this shift is found in the life of Emperor Akihito, the 125th Emperor of Japan, who reigned for 3 decades until his abdication in 2019. Emperor Akihito made a significant departure from tradition when he chose to marry a woman of humble origins, Michiko Shoda, who was not of aristocratic descent. This decision was groundbreaking and marked a turning point in the history of the imperial family, as it challenged the established norms surrounding royal marriages. Their union not only symbolized a more modern approach to the institution of the monarchy, but also resonated with the Japanese public, who appreciated the emperor's willingness to embrace love and personal choice over rigid adherence to tradition. This shows that while the Japanese imperial family remains a vital part of the nation's cultural heritage, the evolving nature of society has led to changes in the customs and expectations surrounding royal marriages. The legacy of Emperor Akihito and his marriage to Michiko serves as a proof to the adaptability of the imperial family in the face of contemporary challenges, reflecting a broader trend of modernization within Japan. Several decades ago, a significant moment in Japanese history unfolded on a tennis court, where the young crown prince, Akihito, first laid eyes on Michiko Shoda. Their first encounter blossomed into a deep and abiding love, but their relationship was fraught with challenges from the outset. Michiko, a commoner, was considered socially inferior by the standards of the imperial family, and her upbringing in a Catholic educational environment further fueled the fire of opposition from traditionalist factions within Japan. These factions were staunch defenders of the long-standing customs and hierarchies that had governed the imperial lineage for centuries. Among the most vocal critics of their union was Kojun, the mother of Prince Akihito. Her disapproval was not merely a private sentiment. It reverberated through the corridors of power and society, causing significant distress for both her son and his beloved Michiko. Kojun's insistence that Michiko was unworthy of her son created a rift that threatened to overshadow the couple's happiness. The pressure from the traditionalists was immense, as they viewed the potential marriage as a direct challenge to the established norms that had defined the imperial family for over 2 millennia. Despite the formidable obstacles and the emotional turmoil that surrounded them, Akihito and Michiko persevered in their love. In 1959, they defied the odds and were wed in a ceremony that would be remembered as a watershed moment in Japanese history. Their marriage was not just a personal triumph, it represented a significant cultural shift, as it marked the first time a commoner had married into the imperial family in over 2,600 years. This groundbreaking union was celebrated by many as a modern fairy tale, capturing the imagination of the public and the media alike. Together, Akihito and Michiko welcomed 3 children into their family, 2 sons and a daughter, Sayako Kuroda, who was known as Princess Nori prior to her marriage. As Princess Nori grew up, she was a witness to the profound love and partnership shared between her parents. Their relationship, characterized by mutual respect and affection, served as a powerful example of how love could transcend societal barriers and challenge entrenched traditions. Now, let's explore the Japanese standard that has affected many royals, including Nori. A standing rule. The Imperial House of Japan, known in Japanese as Koshitsu, serves as a vital institution that embodies the rich history and cultural heritage of the Japanese people. This esteemed dynasty is composed of individuals from the extended family of the reigning emperor, all of whom are entrusted with various official and public responsibilities that reflect the traditions and values of the nation. According to the current Constitution of Japan, which was enacted in 1947, the emperor is designated as the symbol of the state and of the unity of the people. This role is deeply significant, as it underscores the emperor's position as a figurehead who represents the continuity and stability of the nation, rather than a political leader with governing powers. While the emperor himself engages in various ceremonial duties, other members of the imperial family also play important roles in public life, participating in a range of social and cultural functions that foster national identity and unity. However, it is important to note that these royal family members do not partake in governmental affairs, maintaining a clear separation between the monarchy and the political sphere. Traditionally, the responsibilities and privileges of the emperor are passed down through male descendants, adhering to a long-standing practice that has shaped the lineage of the imperial family. This practice has led to ongoing discussions and debates regarding succession, particularly in light of modern societal changes and the challenges posed by a declining number of male heirs. The Japanese monarchy is distinguished by its remarkable history, holding the title of the oldest continuous hereditary monarchy in the world. This enduring legacy is a source of pride for many Japanese citizens, as it connects them to their ancestors and the historical narratives that have shaped the nation over millennia. Interestingly, the imperial dynasty does not possess a formal name, which is a unique characteristic among royal families globally. As a result, current members of the imperial family do not have a family surname, which further emphasizes their distinct status. However, the dynasty is often informally referred to as the House of Yamato, a name that harkens back to the ancient origins of the imperial lineage and signifies its deep-rooted connection to the land and its people. This shows that the Imperial House of Japan is not only a symbol of the nation's history and culture, but also a living institution that continues to adapt to contemporary society while preserving its traditional values. The role of the emperor and the imperial family remains a significant aspect of Japanese identity, reflecting the enduring nature of monarchy in a rapidly changing world. The imperial lineage of Japan is a remarkable and complex tapestry that acknowledges a total of 126 sovereigns, beginning with the legendary figure of Emperor Jimmu. According to tradition, Jimmu is believed to have ascended to the throne on 11 February 660 BC, marking the inception of the Japanese imperial line. However, despite this long-standing belief, there is a significant academic consensus that questions the historical existence of Jimmu. Scholars argue that the narratives surrounding his life and reign are largely mythical, suggesting that the origins of the imperial family are steeped in legend rather than verifiable history. The historical documentation concerning the first 25 emperors of Japan is predominantly characterized by mythological accounts, which complicates the task of establishing a clear and factual historical record for this early period. These accounts often blend historical events with folklore, making it challenging to discern the actual historical figures from those that are purely legendary. As a result, while the stories of these early emperors are rich in cultural significance, they lack the empirical evidence necessary to confirm their existence as historical figures. Despite the mythical nature of the early emperors, there is a notable shift in the historical record beginning in the early 6th century. From this point onward, there is sufficient evidence to support an unbroken male lineage of emperors, which has been meticulously documented through various historical texts and records. The first emperor of Japan who is recognized as historically verifiable is Emperor Kinmei, who reigned from AD 539. His reign marks a pivotal moment in Japanese history, as it represents the transition from the realm of myth to a more concrete historical narrative. Emperor Kinmei's reign is significant not only for its historical veracity, but also for the cultural and political developments that occurred during this time. His rule is often associated with the introduction of Buddhism to Japan, which would have profound implications for the country's culture, society, and governance in the centuries to follow. The lineage that follows Kinmei continues to be documented through a combination of historical records, archaeological findings, and genealogical studies, allowing for a clearer understanding of Japan's imperial history as it progresses through the ages. While the imperial lineage of Japan begins with the legendary Emperor Jimmu, the historical record becomes more reliable with the reign of Emperor Kinmei in the 6th century. This transition from myth to history underscores the rich and intricate narrative of Japan's imperial family, which has played a central role in shaping the nation's identity and cultural heritage over millennia. This one particular solely affected the princess, according to the provisions established by the 1947 Imperial Household Law, Naishino. That is, the imperial princesses and the princesses are required to forfeit their titles and sever their formal ties to the imperial family upon entering into marriage. This rule is a significant aspect of the law, which aims to maintain the distinct status of the imperial family and its members. The only exceptions to this rule are marriages with the emperor himself or with other male members of the imperial lineage, which allows for the continuation of royal titles and affiliations within the family. This provision has had a notable impact on the lives of many women within the Japanese imperial family. For instance, 4 of Emperor Showa's 5 daughters lost their imperial titles upon marrying, illustrating the personal sacrifices that come with royal status. Similarly, the 2 daughters of Prince Mikasa, the only daughter of Emperor Emeritus Akihito, and the 2nd and 3rd daughters of Prince Takamado, also followed this tradition, leaving the imperial family to join their husbands' families and adopting their surnames in the process. Most recently, this pattern continued with the eldest daughter of Crown Prince Akishino, who also departed from the imperial family upon her marriage. This practice reflects a broader cultural context in Japan, where the traditional roles and expectations of women often emphasize their integration into their husbands' families. As a result, these women, in spite of their royal heritage, transition into new familial roles, which can lead to a significant shift in their identities and public perceptions. The implications of this law and its effects on the lives of imperial princesses highlight the complexities of royal life in modern Japan, where adherence to tradition coexists with the evolving roles of women in society. For instance, Shigeko, who is widely recognized by her title Princess Teru, was the firstborn daughter of Emperor Showa, a significant figure in Japanese history who reigned from 1926 until his death in 1989. In 1943, she entered into a notable marriage with Prince Morihiro Higashikuni, who was the first son of Prince Naruhiko Higashikuni. This union was particularly noteworthy as Prince Naruhiko would later play a crucial role in Japan's political landscape by assuming the position of Prime Minister in 1945, during a crucial period in the nation's history marked by the aftermath of the Second World War. Prince Morihiro Higashikuni was not only a member of the imperial family, but also part of a lineage that had deep historical roots in Japan. His mother, Toshiko, was known as Princess Yasu and was the daughter of Emperor Meiji, who was instrumental in the modernization of Japan during the Meiji Restoration. This marriage thus represented a continuation of the imperial lineage and the intertwining of significant historical figures within Japan's royal family. However, the post-war period brought about significant changes to the structure of the Japanese imperial family and its status. In October 1947, following the end of the Second World War and the subsequent reforms implemented during the Allied occupation, the Higashikuni family was stripped of its imperial status. This marked a profound shift in the role and perception of the imperial family in Japan, as the nation transitioned towards a more democratic and modern governance structure, distancing itself from the traditional hierarchies that had defined its past. The removal of imperial status for the Higashikuni family was emblematic of the broader societal changes occurring in Japan during this time, as the country sought to redefine its identity in the wake of war and occupation. Furthermore, the Fushimi Cadet branch, known as the Shinnoki, encompasses a significant number of individuals who are of imperial lineage. This branch is structured into a principal line and 5 surviving sub-branches, referred to as Oak. Each of these sub-branches has its own unique history and contributions to the broader narrative of the Japanese imperial family. In October 1947, a significant change occurred when the American occupation authorities made the decision to revoke the membership of these cadet royal families from the imperial family. This action was part of a larger movement that included the dissolution of collateral imperial houses and the dismantling of the kazoku, which was the hereditary peerage system in Japan. This period marked a significant shift in the status and recognition of these families, as they were no longer considered part of the formal imperial structure. Regardless of this official revocation, it is important to note that unofficial heads of the existing collateral families continue to exist. These individuals often maintain a sense of identity and connection to their historical roots, even if they no longer hold any formal title or status within the imperial framework. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.